Hope this looks all right. For any of y'all that's ever seen somebody take a welder and try to recondition a battery that's long since been dead, I'm trying it today. I'm not using a welder. This antique of a battery charger will boil the crap out of a battery, which is exactly what they're doing with the welders. They're boiling the old corrosion off of the plates inside the battery. So I'm gonna let this sucker go on that for a while until I see it getting hot or whatever. I think they normally do it in like 20-minute spurts. Anyway, when I hooked it up like 10 minutes ago, it was saying poor battery. I've got it on the hot setting, and as you can see, it's coming up. This charger will peg out over here around 80 amps. So we're gonna watch it. It's already put voltage in there. So I don't know how long that battery's been dead. It's a 21 battery, best I remember. And I saw it on it somewhere. I pulled the sticker off. Anyway, we're gonna see. I'm gonna charge it sucker. Once it gets some juice in it, I'll swap it over to a trickle charger, and because I need that battery to crank that once I get the motor on it. If I can get it working, last for a week, 2 weeks, a month, it'll be all right. So now let's get to unboxing. Okay, it's gonna be kind of hard to show y'all this. Hope this is in frame. Normally I do this on the little table over here behind me, but just ain't working out that way. There's the welders over there. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm hitting the stud sticking out to knock the piston out of the cylinder a little bit so I can get the bottom part of the connection rod off. Dirty, but it doesn't look bad. A real good way of doing this. Need something to pry it out of there. No, this is not the correct way to do this. But it doesn't want to come out the way it should. think the problem I'm having is the gasket is catching the ring. So I'm gonna cut y'all off, take that gasket off, and then knock it out. Swear I'm gonna kill this phone before this is all over with. How? Focus. Oh, that's nice. May have just killed it. Okay. The Twizzler that's holding the phone is giving problems. Probably edited it out, but it just dumped y'all on the floor. Okay, I'm going to hit this with something a little bit harder. I'm glad I've taken them out. The rings are stuck. The top compression ring has come out and it's not. Definitely not doing this job anymore. There it goes. Nope. Oh, it's got to pop out. Okay. There we go. And we're getting somewhere. One piston out. Put the stud back in, that's no big deal. Give a little cleaning in there, that'll be alright. But, as you can see, the rings were gummed up. Oil ring is really, is this in focus? Really gummed up. Focus here, thank you. So, I'll clean all this up, put it back together. I have new pistons, these aren't hurt. But, I'm gonna pop the other side out. It's the same thing. I don't want to make this video too long. And yes, always stick your parts back together and lay them the way they come out of the engine. That way, when you go back together, everything is the same. All right. Let me pop this other piston out and I'll show y'all what it looks like. it threads in. Anybody know what the proper torque is for these? I don't. Maybe the Google will be able to tell us. This is easier to do on a car engine because you can get straight to them. You're not working up in a hole. There's a little bit of wear on it. Nothing major. See, that side's coming out easier. This is what it should have looked like. Not quite that gungy, but the rings moving like they're supposed to. So it came out like that. That's 2 pistons up. Do a little cleaning and show y'all what the cylinders look like. Turn the fan off. Alright, this is the one that was stuck right there. That little spot. Right there, I can feel that. The rest of this is basically superficial staining. This will hone out. And that's stained. No scoring, so let me get the hone, cover up my crankshaft and hone that. We're gonna have to do some work on the valves. Let's clean that up a little bit. It's not bad. There's no big scarring on any of it. So this engine ought to run good. Let me get the hone and do the cylinders. Okay. be careful with this so I don't go too deep and hit the crank. All we want to lose this. Getting there. Still need some. looking better. I don't think I'm quite there yet. Almost. We're almost there. Still a little bit of pitting in this one that I want to try to smooth out a little bit more. Let me show you. Starting to look a lot better, but I can feel that. It's looking a lot better. I'm gonna go back over it a couple more times, see if I can get a little bit more of that out. So that needs to be a fairly smooth surface. Now, you cannot do this to an aluminum cylinder that is nickel sealed. It has pitting and nickel seal. You have to send it off, have them cut the nickel seal out, and redo it. This can only be done in a steel sleeve. Okay, that's good enough. Did I get everything out? No. I got the worst of it out. The rest of this will polish out. Yep. Alright, show you the finished product. There you go. Still a couple of little visible spots, but I can't fill those anymore. They'll polish out. So, here we go. One down, one to go. I'm not going to bore you and make you watch me do the other side. It's not as bad as this one, so it'll take less time. Once I get the other side done, we'll clean this up and then we'll start working on the valves. Alright, while doing the valves, I spotted something bad. I ain't got time to fix it, so see that right up in there? That's the cam. That's rust on the cam. It's probably going to end up causing problems. I need this next week. I'm going to build this engine. I'm going to pray. Praying normally doesn't do any good for mechanical stuff. It doesn't heal itself. That's going to come apart. So I'm going to end up back in here. That side's worse. To replace that cam. But to do the cam, I got to take this timing cover off, which means that flywheel has to come off, and I don't have a puller for that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build this engine, put it back together. The bottom end's good, and see if it can get through this job. If it can, I'll buy a cam, see if I can come up with a puller. I can take that off. That's the part of the engine that's pointed out. I should be able to slide that all out with it still attached to the welder and swap the cam out. Yep, I'd like to fix it right the first time, but I need it to run. It should do the job I need it to do before that causes a real problem. Yeah, hate me in the comments. When you need something to run, you need something to run. I'll fix it later. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean that up, get it ready to go back in, and build the bottom end and get this sucker put back on. Well, here's a kicker. Nice shiny new pistons. Or the wrong size. They're smaller. Both are standard. These are going to be for either a 16 or 18 horse. That is for the 20. When I bought this kit, it said it fit all three. I was a little bit skeptical of that. All the gaskets are the same. I'm going to clean that up so the rings function. This engine wasn't wore out, it just was misused. Or should I say, not so much misused as neglected. So I'm going to clean that up so everything works. Put it back in. New gaskets. waste of money. I do have new valves. Best I can tell, they're correct. So when I do the cam, I have new valves. Pistons. Different size between the 16, 18, and 20. Who would have thunk? I did, but they didn't give options for it. So, yeah, that needs to be thought about when you buy a rebuild kit for one of these. There's a new oil pan. So, let me do some scrub-a-dub-dub on that, and we're going to slap this back together. Alright, I'm going to show y'all this. The Twizzler out of the way. This is the same piston I just showed you. Everything moves now. Had to take the oil ring out of it. It's 3 pieces if you don't know. You have 2 scrapers and then your retaining ring in there for oil. All that was gummed up. These cleaned up really good. Your compression rings. Everything looks good. It cleaned up good. Don't do what I just did. This is I'm in a bind. I need this engine to run this week, and I know I'm 85% sure this is going to fail. Not because of this. This cleaned up great. This is going to work. That cam is going to fail. So I know I'm going to be back in this engine again. And I put this on wrong when I put it on. But I'm okay with this. I just need this to get through a couple of jobs. To get through this one, I'll tear it back down when I get the right parts and fix it right. It should run long enough to do that. It may have a catastrophic failure and I may have to put an engine on it, but I'm okay with that. I just need it running now. So, let me clean the other piston up. There's no rust in there. These are standard pistons. So, we will, let me get all this cleaned up, slap this back in. Alright, now just for reference, this is the other piston before I do any cleaning. All the rings will move on it. This one was oily, the other one was the one that had the water in the cylinder. So, let me get it cleaned up. Okay, this one was super easy to clean up. Said it wasn't bad. Have no problem with what's left on it. So let's see if we can get them back in the engine. Yeah, I took a break for lunch. So let's see if we can get back to this. Nothing special about what I'm using. This is just straight up motor oil. Now, make sure your rings are opposite of each other. Some people do them one way, some people do them the other. I do them this way. Take your ring compression tool. Slide it down over your rings, just like so. press the rings. Now, use a little assembly lube here. Sure, cylinder's lubed. Slide this in. Make sure that everything's where it needs to be. Yep, that works. Voila. Piston and hole. Now, we rotate that into place. Make sure there's a difference in the way these sides are. Make sure you line that up with the other half. And then put it on. I don't know what these torque to. I don't think I can get my torque wrench up in there anyway. So, I know they were tight. Is this the correct way to do this? No. What about this has been the correct way to do it? Nothing. Said I know about how tight they were when they came off. one good measure. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna call that good. Now, the other side. I'm gonna polish that just a little bit. Now, this would probably be considered a no-no in most things, but as I said, this 4 engine, it is what it is. All I'm doing is cleaning up a little bit of rust. Nothing major. High spot clears. Concerned I'm not taking enough off to really be concerned with it. Just a little bit of spot on here I want to clean up. There may be some professional people on here saying, oh no, don't do that. But the old timers did this stuff out in the field to get by. They used leather in places when they didn't have crank bearings. And those engines ran. Still got a spot. If you can feel it with your finger, that's bad. And I can feel that with my finger. So, let's give it a little bit more. I guess I can show you what I'm doing. I don't know if you can see it. That spot right there little dark spot right there, you can kind of see it in the video right there. That's what I'm after. There's a little bit of a ridge there. Just a little bit. This is not the correct way to do this, but it works. Like I said, I'm not expecting this engine to stay together. Not at this point. I've got some more sandpaper around here. Hold on. I don't know what I did with it. I will polish it a little bit better. Let me go find something. Okay, found what I was looking for. It's 1500 grit. Polish this back out. Make it nice and slick. Okay, 2500 grit. I'm not showing you how to do this because this is the right way to do it, because it's not. This is that like field repair or Alaska backwoods repair that you do when you got to have something run. This is what they do. This is the stuff you never get to see. The way the old timers would do it when they just had to get another season out of something. Didn't have the money to buy something new. That's pretty good. Move on to 5000 grit. Can't see what I'm doing. I have it wrapped around the crank there, polishing the connection rod. Journal, I don't know what it's called, where it goes. Nice and smooth. Is it perfect? No. Probably should have been turned. But this is the least of my worries. Never use too much oil. Put back in. Double check how this goes. Just making sure I put it in the right way because well, I officially ran out of storage space on my phone or on my SD card. So, y'all completely missed me putting second piston in. Now I'm working off of the internal storage on my phone, which doesn't have a lot left either. I'm going to remedy this problem pretty soon. I'm getting a new phone for the use of this new side view that I'm doing. So, it won't be a problem much longer. For the sake of saving memory, I'm going to snug those up off camera. Okay, that's snug. Put this back on. This is not super tight. Okay, while y'all were away, run a tap in these holes, clean them out. I had a few bolts that brought a little bit of aluminum dirt with them. I had to clean those up with a die. Let's see if we can put these heads back on. I think so. Okay, got something weird going on. Let me figure it out. Well, after putting these on, trying to put them on, and realizing that there's a left and a right, they have different bolt patterns. Realized I took them off with the motor turned the opposite direction that it's turned now. Then I ended up having to run a tap in every single hole. I knew it pulled the threads a little bit on two of the holes per side, but I had to clean the holes on every single one to keep from having a big issue of getting bolts back in. A few of the bolts had to be chased as well to die. That has taken, I can't see the time. I'm gonna say at least a good hour just to get that to where I'm doing this. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 18 bolts to tighten. So I'm gonna save you the boringness of sitting here watching me do this. Fast forward you a little bit and get this done. Cheating. Okay, one down, one to go. I don't know what the torque sequence is on this. What I'm doing is I'm crisscrossing the cylinder first. Then coming up to where the valves are. Is that the proper torque sequence? Don't know. Is this the proper torque spec? Don't know. Does it feel good? Yes. Will I check them later after it's run? Yes. Fairly confident I have them tight enough. Yeah, because they weren't tight. I took them off with this. If I can take them off with it, I should be able to put them back on with it. Okay, I have a bunch of tin to put back on here, and I got to think about that a little bit. So let's see what I can do. Just looked at the thermometer over there, and it has officially hit 90 degrees in the shop, which means it's starting to get hot. I think the threads are messed up there. Yep. Okay, next piece is this. Let me clean it up. Alright, front piece of tin is started on. The ratchet that I was using just here. There it is. This is where the fun begins, because I got to remember where all these little wires go. And figure out if I've got all the screws, or should I say bolts. Seem to be missing one on the front cover. Not sure it was there to begin with. Let's see what's left when I get the side covers on. Okay. Put all these little wires back on the hole. hope I remember how they went. I did take pictures of this, so I have a reference. Pretty sure I don't need it. I think it has the coil hooked back up. All of these wires here go to parts down there. So let me figure the next step out. Okay, next step is the solenoid that says your auto idle. Okay. Need a hook. I need to move that. Put the spring up next. Wanna know how you get hooked by a spring? This is how you get hooked by a spring. That 100% feels like it's in a bind. So let's see if we can move it a little bit, fix that. Much better. Nope. go. Now it's working. All right, we'll figure out what's next. All right, all the tins back on it. I have one leftover bolt. I have been everywhere. I can't find it. Nothing left to put on it except for the exhaust, carburetor, all that stuff. And I can do that once I set it back on there. It's 4:40 in the afternoon. I've been working on this since about 8 this morning, hour break for lunch. I'm tired. I'm at a point where I'm gonna call it a day. Go get some gas because I gotta have some. I gotta drain the varnish that's in that fuel tank out tomorrow. Set that back on here, bolt it back to there, put all that back on it. Battery. I forgot about it the second time I turned it on to nuke it. Let's see. Oh, we're nice and warm. And we're juicing. So, I'm gonna turn it off. And see. Oh, see what she's got in the morning. See if that's got, oh boy, I'm probably gonna piss YouTube off with that. Let me cut that music off. See if there's 12 volts in there in the morning. We'll find out. Yeah, so. Yeah, that's been my camera perch for the day. Sitting up there on the Twizzler. So, I'm gonna go upload all this. Part 2 will be tomorrow. Y'all have a good one.